I'm not gonna lie, it's a bit surreal finishing KOH the first time you ever even try it. All you hear about and know is people that race it for years and never get a finish. So finishing on your first try, I mean, you're a little bit stood back. You know, did I do a really good job, or did I just get lucky? The truth is somewhere in the middle. I tell you what, I'll take luck over skill any day.
Welcome to a special edition of the Reckless Wrench Garage, where we take a moment to feature other vehicles and drivers we come across at events we attend. Whether it's the build, the skill, or simply their energy, they caught our attention and gained our interest. Now we bring them to you.
My name is Kevin Jones, racing Ultra 4 4800 class. 4800 class, nickname is Legends. We're kind of the junior varsity to the big boys. We have to run a 37-inch DOT tire, have a straight front axle, 2 seats, front-mounted engine, and single shock per corner. So it's got an LQ9, turbo 350, and then Atlas 2-speed transfer case with a 3.0 gear set in it. The car's got a Dynatrac Pro Rock 60 up front and a 9-inch Spider Trax housing in the back. It's spooled front and rear, and it's Yukon hub to hub. I mean, I got drive flanges, they're chromoly shafts, they're spooled, they're gear sets, they're yokes, everything Yukon, front to back, side to side. This car's weakness is the high-speed desert. It being an older chassis, it's a short wheelbase, it's a little taller, it's 3-link front and rear. I'm trying to bomb the desert super fast with a spool in the front and a high, narrow, short car is not that conducive. So I'm really looking forward to getting in the rocks. So to technically be considered a KOH finisher, you need to finish before 6 p.m. That would be amazing. I would settle for finishing at all. Yeah, if we drag the thing across the finish line at midnight, I'd be thrilled with that too.
Anything that you wish you could have done to the car that you didn't quite get to?
I still wanted to redo the brakes, but I figure that's not as important as the gas. So, throttle one out on that one.
Got the car last spring after it DNF'd KOH 19. Kind of chipping away at it, working on it all summer. Entered my first Ultra 4 race, Rampage at Ridgecrest 2019. Really glad we chose a race before KOH. Co-driver and I learned a lot about each other, about the car, about race prep, what it takes to get it done. If we'd have tried to learn those lessons at KOH, there's no doubt in my mind we would have DNF'd. chose to skip qualifying this year, mostly because it cost an extra $250 that I didn't have. I didn't really think we were all that fast in the car. Turned out once the green flag dropped, that was quite the opposite. We made over 59 passes to get up to a final finishing position of 26th. Had a few takeaways from this race. I think the biggest one was you can't pre-run enough. We set aside 2 days to pre-run. We still probably only saw half to 2/3 of the course. For sure next year I'm going to get out there earlier, be there the day the course is released, and I want to see every mile of that racetrack, because everything we pre-ran we were significantly faster on, way more confident in. The car is just not working as hard because you know where to put it. You know where it's going. You know how much throttle it takes to get there. I've been super fortunate. Ever since I got in the car, I've gotten a lot of advice from other racers. I think if I had any advice to give to somebody that was thinking about it, it would be your own everything. You got to be your mechanic. You got to be your own crew chief. You got to be the driver. You got to do the budget. The more you can learn about the race program, the better. If you don't know that car inside and out, it's just not a good combination. I think you look at a lot of the guys that just cut a check and come out here and race, and they can have an army behind them and the best car, but if they don't know how to drive that car because they don't know how it's put together, they don't know the type of abuse that it can or can't take, it's just a recipe for disaster. Build it yourself, or do what I did, buy somebody else's mess and tear it down and start over. Just got to get your hands dirty, learn that car, know what it takes to put it together, know what it takes to break it, know what it takes, more importantly, not to break it. I've been coming to KOH since 2013. Once you race, I don't think you can go back to being a spectator. It just wouldn't be the same. Started having steering issues right before we got to pit 2B first time around, but the pit crew wasn't there yet. The car was still turning okay, so I figured better just go for it. Headed out from 2B and out towards Aftershock. That's when things really got interesting. Once we were in Aftershock, the steering really started to lock up on me. A lot of thoughts went through my head. Is it going to get worse? Is it going to get better? Is this going to be it for us? Only thing I could do at that point was just keep driving. What would have been a 1-point turn ended up being 5, 6, 7-point turns. All these slight readjustments, forward, back, getting a little bit of turn in every time. Co-driver and I talked a lot about our options with the steering. We had a spare pump. Neither one of us felt confident that was going to fix the problem. Co-driver had a really good point. He said, "You're still driving the car. Why change anything?" Owned a lot of junky cars in my life. A lot of them had problems. I think once the steering went out, just started to look for the workaround. Ended up becoming power braking it, flashing the converter, getting about half a turn out of the steering wheel. So we just kept at it. We were stuck in Spooners for quite a long time. Took a lot of winching to get out of there. Steering was just completely gone. Once we got to the top of Spooners, sun was setting out in front of us. Kind of came out of that dark canyon into the afternoon sun, and it was at that moment I knew we got this. We're gonna finish this thing. Come around that mountain, all you're thinking is, don't screw this up, don't screw this up. Gotta climb those 2 hills, drop into the short course. Co-driver's yelling at me, do not roll the car. I tell him, I'm gonna hit the tabletop, I'm gonna jump it. He's like, don't even think about it, just take it in for a finish. He's right. That's why he's my co-dog, keeping me under control, calming me down when he needs to, building me up when I need it. A lot of people ask me what my favorite part of the race is. The more I think about it, it's all of it. From the green flag to the finish line. Every mile is better than the one before it. Every rock trail is more fun than the last. Blasting through the desert, mixing it up with other cars. It just doesn't get any better than this. I think my least favorite part of the race is that I gotta wait a whole year to do it all over again. There's really nothing bad about KOH.
There's 2 kinds of racers out here, in my opinion. There's the guys that know what they're doing and those that pay to be here. It's the ones that pay to be here that I don't. Yeah, those are the guys I'm planning on going right around.